I don't know. I haven't seen the edit, but again, I'd like to think that I had a really good time. I like to think that I worked really hard, and I tried to, be as supportive to my teammates as possible. We have to remember that this is still entertainment, so, all in due time. I feel like, people get to see you for who you are, hopefully, and then you can go from there. But I kind of went into this. I think the healthiest way to go into something like this is with no real expectations, and being as, you go in with the intention of being like, oh, I'm just going to be as real and forthcoming and transparent and honest as possible. But then you end up just being even more so than you expected, and being even more vulnerable than you expected. And, I'm in such a good space, but even a better space than I was when I was filming this months ago, so, life is about challenges, and life is about getting knocked down and getting back up, and getting knocked down and getting back up again. Well, mentally, yes, I certainly would think that I have, over the last years, have become, have been forced to become mentally stronger, in a way. Just meaning, and when I say mentally stronger, I've always thought of myself. I'm in a place now where I don't believe in false humility. There's a difference between being humble and being, having false humility, where we're always told when we're growing up, to accept responsibility for the wrong that you do, and always, be transparent about that. And that's so important, so important. But we also need to be taught to accept responsibility when we do something great. And I think that I've been, when I say stronger mentally, I mean as far as having to not be affected. I'd be lying if I said I didn't care, but having to not be as affected as you once were about what people think about you. And, being a public figure, it is, no matter what you do, in any light, it's not normal. It is not normal to be in the public. People thinking that they know you when they don't. Either way, thinking that you're this amazing person or thinking that you're this horrible person, and both of them, you're like, y'all are both wrong. Like, you're just who you are. You're just trying to get from day one to day two. And I think that we're all in a place where, we tend to be talking at each other instead of talking to each other. And I think that, that again, that's what brings it back to Special Forces, is this idea that people from all walks of life. It's what I used to love about the real world, people from all walks of life that you would think by society's standards would never come across each other, by what society would have you believe. There would be no reason why someone like Cody and myself would ever be sitting in the same barracks, sleeping across from each other. You know what I mean? But that's the beauty of Special Forces, the show. That's also the beauty of Special Forces in general, is the fact that people from all walks of life are put into a situation, and we're bonding over that. We're bonding over our commonalities versus bonding over our differences. So I think it's really good. I wasn't, I didn't know what to expect. But listen, let's keep it 100, right? Like, I knew going into Special Forces that things were going to be brought up, that, the past and painful, traumatic experiences would be brought up, not just from the obvious of 2019, but, childhood things and my father and, growing up being gay, all of those things, they really dive in. Like, after that, like, I think it's like a 3-hour pre-interview, they really dive into your personal, and that's not always comfortable. But I think that the whole mission of this is to make you so uncomfortable that you face yourself and you face certain challenges in ways that maybe you never would have before. Yeah, so I wasn't so afraid of them bringing it up. I kind of was prepared. I just didn't know in which way that things would be brought up. But again, these people were hard, and they were rough, and they were harsh, but they were also oddly loving. Like, weirdly, you know what I mean? Like Stockholm Syndrome, but it still is, they were, you understand that it's for the mission, and you understand that people are actually doing this in real time and in real life. So, you know, we're still protected in some ways.